Hey folks, how's it going? I want to speak a little bit about the election and the exit polls, the demographics reflecting the exit polls, or exit polls reflecting the demographics. And I'm going to take a little journey back, and the journey back is going to go back to the 60s. But just a little preface here, that exit polls, they stopped exit, or let me say it another way. Exit polls started officially in 1976. Before 1976, they didn't take exit polls, demographics, exit polls, but there are estimations out there, okay? There are estimations, and you can look online and see all the estimations. But back to 2024, I want to show you all the different graphs and whatnot. You know, you probably have seen them also. So it's all kind. But the most important one is that one. Okay, and I'm going to put it up top here in a second. In that particular graphic, they do an estimation back to 1964. And why is that important? Because in 1964 is the last time, this is now an estimation, okay, of the demographics of the exit polls for the presidential election in that year, okay? In that year, Lyndon B. Johnson beat Barry Goldwater, okay? And when I put it up and you take a look at it, it'll be in the left-hand corner, and I circled the date, 1964. White folk voted for Johnson, big time. Okay? Why is that significant? The reason it's significant is because the next election, right, the following election, up until, now keep in mind, the estimates are going from then up to 1976, and then it became official after 1976, okay, up until 2024. Stay with me. So the elections after Johnson won, the white voter turnout, the whites that voted for Democrats, was never greater than whites that turned out for the Republican side of the ticket, ever again. So you may say, well, what are you trying to get to there? Well, what I'm trying to get to is 1964, then 1965. For the civics folks out here that know what I'm getting ready to get into, 1965 is when Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Voter Rights Act, right? So that act enacted that people of color, black folk, had the right to vote. So right from that year on, the trends were now that the majority of the white folk that turned out for Republicans went through the roof. And it's been like that ever since, up until this last election also. So 1965 will go down as one of the most pivotal years in the United States of America. Just looking at the trends. Well, you can see it up top here. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? So I'm going to end it with this, folks. Do not believe that racism does not exist. Anybody that tells you that things have changed, they're not telling you the truth. The country is founded on racism and greed from day one. They never, ever, ever intended for black folk to be equal to them. Ever. no matter how much we achieve, no matter how many qualifications we have. It just demonstrated itself in this last election. Right? Did it not? These folks were willing, and I'm specifically now talking about white women. They actually gave up the rights to their person. Straight up, keeping it real. Of course, not all white folk, but the trend shows you that most white folk, that includes both the white men and the white women, but it's the white women, because as I've said in other videos, it's a privileged thing. Gots to have it. Never want us to be anywhere close to where they are. However this election turns out, because I still have hope. But folks, if that man takes the oath on January 20th, 2025, you know how we say we got to do soul searching? You don't have to do that anymore. I'm talking to black folk now. No more soul searching. Do what you got to do. Do your thing. Keep rising. Keep ascending. And just let these folks, they can have, despite me having served for this country, all the people of color that are serving now for this country, all over the world. My ancestors, I point to my mom. Just something to think about, right? So however this turns out, it's showing you. I'm pointing now here. I'm pointing there and pointing here. It's showing you. The system, the laws, they made the laws, folks. Does anybody actually believe that they would make the laws that would allow them to lose power? Does anybody believe that?